Hey, what's happening guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome to my channel. So I was actually going to do a speed paint story time for this video, but unfortunately I realized that I do not have any stories for this. Yeah, and I mean I do have some stories, but one of them I'm saving for a later date, and the other one is incredibly long and I want to save it for a very long speed paint because this one is relatively short. So yeah. I've actually had this file on my computer for a while. I drew Hellboy a while ago and then I came back and I decided to color it. So I had inked it and I posted that on my Patreon for my patrons to see, and I just now finally got back to actually finishing the piece entirely. I cannot remember what I had stopped working on this for. But I have a really bad habit of, like, as soon as I post a work in progress or an ink of something, I kind of, like, immediately lose all of the drive I had to color it, because when I initially did this, I actually was, like, really excited to finish it, and I think it was probably, like, I don't know, like a month or so later before I actually came back to it. And really, honestly, the only reason I came back to it is because I am going to be gone for the weekend and I needed a video to post because I knew that I wouldn't have time to make the video when I got back to have it posted on time. So by the time this goes up, I will actually be home from the trip, but I will be back Monday and my schedule is to post things on Tuesdays, so yeah, I would not have time to have a video up. So yeah, that prompted me to finish this, so you know, that's nice. But I am trying to do a new schedule of trying to post twice a week. I am trying to post on Tuesdays and Saturdays, but Saturday is like the optional day, so like if I don't have time to make a video or something, obviously Saturday won't get a video. It's really if I just have like a huge log, because for a while like I was making videos a lot and I actually had like a lot of videos stacked up, and I was like, well, I actually have enough. I can go to 2 times a week, so I'm really trying to do twice a week posting of videos, so hopefully that'll work out for the most part, and you guys will get some cool new content twice a week. Yeah, so that's exciting. But yeah, so I have a very deep love of Hellboy, like an extremely deep, almost obsessive love with Hellboy, and to the point where like I've never, I don't think I've ever really read an actual comic, like a Western comic. You know, there was like a long time ago they had like Spider-Man comics and stuff that came out with like certain things that you buy, and like I read some of those, and you know, they were like okay or whatever, but like I don't consider myself like a huge Spider-Man fan. I mean, I like Spider-Man, but just like not as much as others, basically. But Hellboy, I actually like, I don't know, I just really enjoy Hellboy, and especially like the movies. I really love the Hellboy movies, so I'm actually going to look and see if I can't actually pick up some Hellboy comics at some point to have, because I've never read one and I really want them, because just everything about Hellboy is cool as shit to me. Yeah, so I went with a more obviously like a more Ron Perlman styled, inspired Hellboy here, opposed to like a lot of the comic style, because the comic style is very like cartoony and angular, and I kind of like how Ron Perlman looked as Hellboy, so that's kind of what I went with. But I know that they're working on a Hellboy reboot with David Harbour, who is Hopper in Stranger Things, if you don't know who he is, which I couldn't imagine at this point you not knowing who he is, but he will be playing Hellboy in the Hellboy reboot, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it, because Ron Perlman was like such a good Hellboy, and I'm like really stubborn about stuff like that. Like I'm stuck in my opinions. I'm like a little old lady, like, don't you change shit on me. But yeah, so I will watch it though, because I love Hellboy and I really want it to be good, so I'm hoping that it'll be good. And here I spend an awkward amount of time shading his nip-nops. Oh my god. It probably looks really weird. When I was coloring those, I knew, like, I had spent like an awkward amount of time doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, even sped up, this is gonna be like an awkward amount of time of me working on these. Oh gosh. But yeah, I couldn't like settle on a color red for his skin tone, so this won't even be the last time I change his skin tone. Because on the white background it's very high contrast, so it looks extremely red, and then when you work on other things it looks like less red, and I was like, oh shit, and I had to like fix it a couple times, because like I'm a terrible artist and I don't color pick things, so I don't like save an image and color pick. I just like eyeball it because I'm too lazy to save stuff, and so far it's pretty much so worked for me. So like I have Hellboy is actually like my lock screen on my phone, and so I was kind of like trying to reference that for colors, but because it was done in like a Western comic style, the shading was done in black, so I'm like, fuck, this doesn't help. So I kind of just did my best winging it for the entirety of this, and yeah, so the shading, it probably looked more contrasty before I changed the skin tone, but there was just like really no way for me to edit the shading in a way that would look better than it already did without having me completely redo it, and I wasn't gonna fucking do that. Are you crazy? I just told you I'm too lazy to save an image to color pick. Like, I'm obviously not gonna do that. But yeah, so it was really I mean, there were some things about this that I kind of like, I don't like. I actually, like, before I had even like started coloring it, I actually had gone through, because the line art was so old, there were things that I needed to adjust and change, because I've been doing the Sketchbook Slam Challenge. I know that I talked about it a while back, but I have been doing it a bit, and I've been trying to look at male anatomy more for practice and stuff, and I did notice that, you know, there are some things that I didn't quite get right. Like, everything was like pretty close, but it wasn't quite right, so I had to adjust some things, and it's still not perfect, like, obviously, but you know, it is what it is for now. And hopefully I will draw Hellboy better in the future, because I really do enjoy him and I don't like butchering him. But I mean, honestly, I'm gonna level with you, the only reason I drew this was because I needed to. Because this is like a purely self-indulgent piece. Like, I just wanted some Hellboy, and I was kind of joking around about it, and I was like, I'm gonna print this out and put it on my wall because I really needed it. And you know, I'm still honestly considering just putting this out, and like, I don't even necessarily like having my own art on my wall, but I'm kind of like, I might have to. But yeah, so after I finally decided on the background I wanted to do, and also deciding the way I wanted the smoke to go, because for some reason that was really hard for me to get on this, I went through and did some highlighting stuff, and I was kind of dreaming about Photoshop color dodge, and I don't have color dodge in Paint Tool Sai, so yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel to be updated every time I post a new video. Links to my social media, shop, and Patreon are in the description box below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!